Hey everyone, it's Mike. Before we start the episode, I have a quick question to ask. Do you own a brewery? Do your customers love trivia as much as I do? Well, then you better listen up. Because Geeks Who Drink weekly trivia nights are the cornerstone of event programming for over 650 breweries and bars nationwide. Geeks Who Drink Trivia is consistently fun and low-effort way to build a community of regulars because we all need our norms, cliffs, and all that, but we want to bring more people in as well. So you can even turn that slow weeknight into the busiest night of the week. So get started with this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners and get your first quiz night free. Go to geekswhodrink.com/taproom and enter promo code Taproom. That's geekswhodrink.com/taproom, promo code Taproom. And now, on to the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 69 of the Taproom Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. It's kind of a funny coincidence about it being episode 69 because it is coming out today on Sunday, June 9th. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of, just kind of a funny thing. But yeah, it's been a week. Work's been crazy busy with the show and stuff with the show. Got to record with Brew Dude West Virginia the other day. Nick, really good dude. We had a really fun conversation. Talked about, a little bit of tailgating, how he got into homebrewing and all that sort of stuff and kind of the craft beer scene in his area. So that was a lot of fun. That'll be out. I'm a little backlogged right now, so I have quite a few, but that one will be out, I believe, like 3 weeks from today. But yeah, we had a good time. And then yesterday, I actually got to meet up with AJ and John from the Beer Belly podcast. Really good dudes. Man, it was just honestly a really fun conversation. And we were laughing, joking about pretty much everything. Video games, beer, some of their favorite breweries, all that sort of stuff. We kind of touched it all in that episode, but it was honestly super fun, super natural. Like it was just a really, really good time. So thank you to AJ and John for that. But yeah, this week's episode is with Trevor Ward from Audiograph. He's one of the owners. Was, and also a brewer as well. Just a really, really nice guy. And I'm really appreciative that he let me go down there and, be able to talk to him and, and try some of his beers. It was a really fun time. And actually on this one, Art, LA Brew Life, and Chew Your Beer was actually there too. They were both there while I was recording. And we got to hang out and have a couple beers together. So it was a lot of fun. And there were also maybe a bonus beer review from them, from Art and Chew at the end, so it'll be fun. Let's see, what else we got this week? Let's see, the NHL, game 1 was yesterday. That was a kind of cheering for the Panthers right now. Don't really care for Edmonton. Vander Kane just like, but that's just me. And so I'm cheering for Florida. Florida did win. It ended up being 3-0, but it was 2-0 for a while, and they got an empty netter at the end, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm pulling for Florida. Let's see, the Mavericks and the Celtics, I believe, play today. Game 2. Mavericks just got, they got thumped a little, but I feel like they were. In the second half of that game, they played a lot better. I think it was like the last 5 minutes of the third quarter is where they just really got, because I think they were down by 27 at one point or 28. And then got it all the way down the lead down to 8, and then the last 5 minutes of the third, it just the wheels fell off. But I expect them to play better. I still think Boston wins. I'd like to see Dallas, but we'll see how that all plays out. But yeah, it should be a fun one. I'm actually gonna go pick up some beers in a little bit from Louis. I'm so excited to go grab a few of those. If anybody gets to try it, if you have a chance to go down, either go to Smog City or hopefully you can find one at a liquor store. They have a beer right now called Park Hopper, and it's a really cool looking can. It's a West Coast IPA, and holy shitballs, that beer's good. I stopped at Ramirez Liquor in Pico on Friday, and man, that beer, that Westie got me for sure. So, I mean, I'm hoping they have some at Louis, because if they don't, I'm going to have to go back to Ramirez sometime this week and go get a 4-pack. Because, man, that stuff was killer. And I'm hoping one day I can get John Porter on the show. I mean, the hell of a name for a brewer. So, I think I've said that a few times, but it is what it is. Yeah, so let's, I think that's really all I have. Trying to next week. Oh, no, I'll get into that in the outro. All right, well, let's jump into the interview with Trevor Ward from Audiograph. It's super close to crypto, literally a couple blocks, if that. But yeah, really good people, really good beer, and just, and what I love about the place too is they have artwork all around, and that'll be in the reel, obviously. But yeah, so let's jump into the episode with Trevor Ward. Enjoy. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I am your host, Mike. I have a very special guest on today. I have Trevor Ward from Audiograph Beer Co over here in LA. How's it going?
Great.
That's good. I'm glad we got to make this happen. I'm excited. Art, who's over here as well, he's been talking up the brewery so much that I've been like, all right, well, I got to get out there. I got to try it. So I'm excited to have some beer and talk to you today.
Great.
Could you tell us, what are we drinking? What are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking our Lars Pilsner.
Okay.
Which is just a straight kind of German Pilsner.
Nice.
And you're drinking I'm With the Band.
I like it.
Which is New Zealand, Australian, and American hops.
Ooh.
So it's very tropical.
Oh, love that. I mean, anything New Zealand for me, it's like take my money. So I love that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of Galaxy in there and Nectaron hops.
Okay.
And some Citra.
I like it. That's pretty darn good.
We're kind of going for Southern Hemisphere San Diego style.
There you go.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you get because you don't really hear I guess styles or hear about styles like that, but it's everything that the lacing on it looks great. The great taste. It's crisp. It's really clean, and it's got like a hoppy punch to it, which right up my alley. So that's awesome. So yeah, tell us about Audiograph. Tell us about your craft beer journey.
I was a home brewer for a decade or so, and it just kind of got out of control.
Yeah.
It was in the garage, and then it was in the den and in the kitchen. And my wife's like, you got to get this crap out of here. She's like, why don't you just open a brewery? So
yeah,
we went and opened a brewery.
There you go.
Which was insane, but yeah. So yeah, it took us probably, to plan to open the brewery took probably 3 or 4 years. It took us 2 years to find this building. So it's kind of it's been a long run just to get open.
Yeah.
And then we had the great fortune of opening right when lockdown happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's when we basically got the final stamp of approval from the city to open.
Wow.
So we got the stamp, the inspector left, and I closed the door, and we didn't come back for 3 months.
Jeez. That's freaking terrible, man.
Yeah. So that was, it was tough at the beginning there. Yeah.
I bet.
We're here.
Yeah. I mean, a testament to you guys. I mean, trying to open during that time, and then, for everything like that to go down and to still be here. I mean, that's awesome. Like I said, it's a testament to obviously to clearly, you're doing a great job and to your hard work. So yeah, of course. So you were homebrewing before. How long did you homebrew before you decided to open?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And so and from the minute we opened, I haven't homebrewed since.
Yeah.
So that's my homebrew system back there.
Yeah, there you go.
But we're like, we're going to pilot all this stuff all the time. And we just go for it on the brew house.
Okay.
Instead of just trying little batches, let's go for it.
Yeah.
My brewer's experienced. He's been brewing since about 1990.
Oh, wow.
So he kind of has a good idea of how things are going to turn out before we make it. So
that's awesome, because you know exactly what you're going to get, because sometimes there's especially in life, sometimes just things happen, but if you can know what it's going to taste like before it even comes out, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was finding this location like? What was that like? Were you guys from the LA area, or was it just something that you guys had just wanted to open up in downtown LA? Or
I looked everywhere. I wanted to open along San Fernando.
Okay.
I live real close to between, I don't know, do you know Brew Yard?
Oh yeah.
Eagle Rock.
Yeah, I've talked to Josh over there before.
Or, and I live like right off San Fernando, that area.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to kind of be there near. Basically, the goal is like skateboarding distance from my house, which
Yeah.
never worked out. Buildings are a little bit too pricey there. And,
Okay.
so we just expanded and we're like, well, let's look at East LA. And we went all over the place. I'm like, I didn't want to go too, like, as you go west, it gets more expensive. So we said, no, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to be too deep in the valley. So let's look downtown. I don't know. And this building came up and
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we were like, oh, it's great. We're 3 blocks from Staples at the time, Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And this neighborhood was starting to take off. So we're like, this could be a good spot. And the price worked out. So
Nice.
we jumped on it. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, because it's like ton of foot traffic and stuff like that. So I mean, and being that close to Crypto, I mean, I don't think there's any other. I mean, I know there's other breweries in the area, but not like one as close to as you guys are. I feel like
we're the closest brewery.
Yeah.
You could argue we're the only one walking distance from Crypto, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty damn cool. What do you like? What are some of your favorite styles to you know what? Let's go back to homebrewing a little bit. Do you remember your first homebrew recipe, or do you remember what it was?
It was a saison.
Okay.
Because I figured I couldn't go wrong with Belgian yeast.
Yeah.
So, and it actually turned out pretty good. It wasn't terrible, but it was like, oh, it's not bad. And my friend just gave me, because I was like, I want to brew. For years I was saying that. So one of my friends gave me the Mr. Homebrew kit.
Oh yeah. I had one of those. I tried it one time. It did not work out for me. I used
that, and so it's like a 2-gallon batch or whatever, it's small. And
yeah,
I immediately was like, okay, started buying equipment and it just kept growing from there. But I kind of started with Belgian styles a little bit because I just figured that, that to be easier. And then I moved immediately into IPAs, of course, like everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to brew everything, but
of course.
I like IPA. So
yeah.
I tend that would be 9 out of 10 batches would be an IPA.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the first like craft beer that you had that made you feel like, man, this is the one that like I want to just made you want to homebrew?
For homebrewing, well, the first crafty beer I had would be Anchor Steam's.
Okay.
Classic beer. Yeah. And I used to live up in San Francisco, and the day I moved there, I went to the little local market and I was like, oh, there's beer that's like from here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I bought a 6-pack and I was just blown away.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what got me into beer. But homebrewing, basically, name any IPA from 10 plus years ago. And that's what really got me into it. I was like, oh, this is amazing. It's so hoppy. I loved it. I love it. The bitterness.
Yeah.
Like Lagunitas was big at the time.
Oh yeah.
Hop Stupid, they're double. I love that beer.
Yeah. The one that got me was the double bastard, but I was like, my palate wasn't ready for it.
That's super aggressive.
Oh yeah. I should have started with like a Sierra Nevada, but I mean, eventually like after drinking Sierra Nevadas and stuff like that, that really kind of changed it for me. I was like, man, this could be something, really, really good. But, when you first get that initial like shock from like, the bitterness and stuff like that. And, just one of those things that kind of, changes, how you taste or your palate, and your taste and stuff like that. So it's pretty damn good, but this is pretty damn solid.
Great. Thanks. That's a single batch. We just went for it.
Okay.
Experimenting.
That's awesome. Do you remember your first, your worst brew day? Do you remember when homebrewing?
Worst brew day homebrewing?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would be, I've had numbers, but what's the stupidest thing I've done? Yeah. And that would be pitching yeast into hot wort.
Okay.
I got ahead of myself. I was just in a hurry and in a hurry to like clean up. And I was like, what did you just do? No.
Yeah. That's cool.
But that would be for homebrewing, my worst homebrew day. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's well, I had a buddy tell me the one time, like he went somewhere for a few days and like left it, during the fermentation process. It came back. It was just like an explosion. I was like, Jesus, like, I mean, imagine coming home to that mess.
That's actually not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I've had a few of those with, the really active yeast.
Mm-hmm.
And all those batches actually turned out fine.
Oh, that's good.
Protected, by all that foam and yeast that blew out, so.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had a few batches do that. Nothing like hitting the ceiling or anything, nothing like that, but kind of spilling over the floor a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Do you mind if we grab one more beer before we continue?
Do it.
All right, sweet. All right, and we're back. Got another brewski here. This one is the
Compressor.
Sweet. It was dealer's choice, so it's gonna
Named
be
after compressor, like guitar pedal. Compressor. Compression.
And yeah, speaking of the guitar pedal and that sort of stuff, like the Audiograph, like because it was high def before, right? And now Audiograph. What made you like kind of come up with that name? It was just like really big on music, or
Yeah, I'm a guitar player, but
awesome.
Was a music engineer for years.
Oh wow.
Used to do records, and I moved into sound for film, which is what I still do.
Okay.
I was at Dolby Laboratories for 23 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm an engineer at Disney on the lot there.
That's so cool. Man, and that must have been really fun. Because I'm a huge movie guy. So anything, yeah, like whether it's the music, the acting or anything like that. Sometimes music, when you put that, the score can make or break a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have stuff like that, that's really cool. So I got a little excited right there. But I didn't mean to fanboy out.
On the lot, we do all the Marvel movies and,
awesome.
and Disney animation movies, and then we get some other clients in sometimes. But
that's so cool.
Yeah, so we're working on the next Marvel movie right now.
Man, that's awesome. That's a busy life for you. Doing that and then, being over here doing all this too. And
yeah, it morphed into my wife runs the brewery.
Yeah.
She's the boss. It was my plan was to stay here and full time and do it, but we I have a daughter in private school and I got bills to pay, so
yeah,
I'm doing both.
Yep. For Audiograph, like the logo and all that sort of stuff, like how did that all come about?
One of our locals, who just happens to actually work at Disney as well.
Okay.
But I met him here. He lives a couple blocks from here. He does graphic design, and when we decided to rebrand, I said, "Hey, you want to go for it and do it for me?" So the name and logo, we just wanted to be audio focused.
Mm-hmm.
High def that's kind of like audio and visual,
mm-hmm.
be either or.
Yeah.
And then Audiograph is a little bit more specific. So we went with that. Our sales guy, Eric, came up with that name, actually. We tried lots of names, and I was like, wow, that's it. There we go.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so the logo is kind of like LED sound meters, level
mm-hmm.
meters. And then we, like the pyramid for like growth and also the concept of a triangle was part of it. That's kind of how we came up with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I love the logo. Obviously I love the location too. Like I mentioned earlier, just, having all the foot traffic and being really close to, say crypto, but like all the artwork you guys have in here too. And you had mentioned like they're all LA artists. So like, yeah, tell us how all the art in here came about.
When everybody was locked down, I had a muralist come in who painted the big mandala mural. And he was like, I have a friend who used to have an art gallery, but he lost it. And he needs a spot, and you need some art on these walls, and you're not open, and he can do live streaming. So I hooked up with this guy, this DJ. So he also had a gallery. So he would do live streaming DJ shows on Twitch, and I let him, put all of his, artwork up here. And
that's awesome.
He turned it into like his gallery within the brewery.
Yeah.
So all the art's for sale and everything here. And there's a lot of great, it's all local LA artists. Stephen Lopez is one who's pretty well known. John Park is very well known muralist. He painted that one up there, and then he actually made the cat.
Oh, geez.
Which has an articulating jaw, so you can actually walk around and wear that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that's cool.
Giant. Yeah, he made a bunch of different like animal or different creatures.
Yeah.
For a party once, and so we're kind of lucky to have that in here. That's kind of a neat, unique piece.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It kind of made my life easier what to do stylistically. He just kind of like, I got a bunch of art and I'll just rotate it and sell it,
Yeah.
It sells his stuff. So it always changes. So it's kind of neat to come in and like, oh, Trek was here and he changed up some stuff today or last night.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I love like all the like exposed like beams and stuff too. Like that to me, I've always liked that because it always gives me that like kind of log cabin kind of feel.
Yeah. When we saw this building, this used to be a sweatshop.
Oh, really?
And right now we're kind of sitting in what was the office. And through the middle of the building was just a hallway, and there was a warehouse that was cut off in the back.
Wow.
And it was all drop ceiling. Place was, really run down. And so the first thing we saw the location. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, this building's old. Once I got inside, from the outside, you can't tell how old it is because it's all wrapped in the marble.
Yeah.
So we got inside and we're like, oh, I want to see what the roof looks like. So I grabbed my ladder out of my truck and climbed up, and popped one of the tiles, and I see all this old wood.
Yeah.
But it was all dirty and messed up. But I'm like, ooh, this has potential. So
yeah,
we signed the lease, and we sandblasted the roofs, and it just turned out beautiful. This is what's the year of this building? It's ancient. It's like 1920.
Wow.
22, somewhere around there.
That's crazy.
This land right here, this part of LA was a farm. It was a orange farm.
Oh,
orange
yeah.
grove.
Okay.
And the house for the family that had the farm, the house actually used to be right here on this address on Olive Street.
Wow.
And then they eventually sold off the land over time, and then they put warehouses in. So it's basically a family owns a bunch of these buildings around there.
Man, that's cool.
This was an auto dealership at one point. See, there's hydraulic lift, floor right there. And
oh, yeah.
On either side. And then there was like a showroom over here.
Wow.
Yeah, we found this. We ripped the plaster off of the walls. We found that door, and but it's lower. So the floor was actually, you could tell it was like lower back.
Oh,
back
yeah.
at the time. This is raised up from how the street used to be.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you can come into especially like, in downtown LA, like come into a building and it's like, there's probably so many stories, that that these walls have kept throughout all the years.
When we were, we dug up the floor for the brew deck or the brew floor. We found a bunch of like old plates and glassware and silverware and all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah. So you can tell, oh yeah, there was a house here.
Oh, wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I do see you guys over at, behind the bar, there's a World Beer Cup.
Yeah. Last year we won silver for barrel-aged barley wine.
Wow.
Which was fantastic beer. That beer also, we won California Brewers Cup Gold with that.
Oh,
we
awesome.
won California State Fair Gold and Best of Show. So that was a big hit that year for that.
That's
year.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
And so that's a barrel-aged barley wine. It turned out to be 15.7%.
Wow.
It's way up there.
That'll get you.
And we aged on Heaven Hill barrels, and then also aged on rye whiskey barrels. And the rye whiskey, once we did that so double barrel aged.
Wow.
And the rye just sent it over and just it was so complex after that. So that one turned out really nice.
That's awesome.
Right now, the next iteration, we did bourbon barrels and then put it in rum barrels.
Oh, wow. And
we're thinking now of actually maybe blending that and making it cuvee, possibly. We're not sure yet.
Okay.
But,
man, it seems like that would be just such a unique or like distinct kind of flavor you'd get from going from the bourbon barrels to the rum barrels.
Yeah.
And them like having a, little baby, a little beer baby. That's so cool. Oh, man. I also see behind the bar, was it Ohio State, the Buckeyes?
That's right. That's Brutus.
Oh, there you go. So you're an Ohio State fan?
Yeah, I went to Ohio State.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
for music. Yeah.
Like trying to, because I grew up watching was it Maurice Drew? No, Craig Krenzel, like bunch of like the football teams. I always watched them, like, because, it was Ohio State, it was like Ohio State, Michigan, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's awesome that you went there.
Yeah, well, like Kirk Herbstreit from.
Oh yeah, Kirky. Yeah,
he was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was the quarterback when I was there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I still watch College Game Day religiously. So yeah, it's always one of my favorites. You mentioned earlier skating, like you wanted like the brewery to be within skating distance. So do you skate?
I used to.
Okay.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it happens.
I quickly discovered I got a few years ago. I'm like, I'm going to get a skateboard because my daughter, I wanted to teach her how to skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got with her a little bit, but I got a trick board and I fell immediately fell right on my back. I was like, oh, dude, you're not 15 anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So I got a longboard.
Oh, there you go. For
So
cruising.
Cruising on my longboard now, but yeah.
Nice. I could never skate. I mean, I tried a couple times because my brother loves to skate, but he also has a longboard too. And he would, up in Whittier, like in the hills, he would go and, early in the morning. So there's no cars. So he could go go downhill and stuff. But yeah, I couldn't even make it off the driveway. I would eat shit so bad. But no, that's cool though. I mean, I always we grew up watching end the summer and stuff like that. It's like surfing, and then obviously Dogtown and stuff like that. Me and my brother always kind of connected with those kind of things. So skating's always cool. I always appreciate it, just can't do it.
Do it like I used to.
Yeah. Speaking of brewing, so do you when you're what is your if your ideal, if you wanted to brew a beer just for you, what would you brew?
IPA.
Yeah. Any a Westie, or do you want just a normal?
I kind of dig West Coast, yeah, but I like it with some firm bitterness. And bitterness has kind of been everybody's been backing off on that lately.
Yeah.
But I like it with a little bit more punch.
Same.
And I like it really dry.
Oh yeah, almost like a brute, when they a good brewed IPA, and not a lot of people make them, but they're freaking so good when they're done right.
Yeah, we did one right kind of when we opened. We just haven't brought it back, but that was kind of fun. But now I think about it, we should do that.
Yeah,
so we kind of blew through that beer pretty quick.
Yeah, so if you guys do that one, let me know. You can have my paycheck. Well, so. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if it was me, I've only ever homebrewed once, and it was a brown. And honestly, I just helped with the ingredients. My buddy is he's a professional brewer, on a homebrew level, and he let me help him out for the day. So it was I technically brewed, but I didn't really set the temperature or anything. So, but I've always I find it fascinating with brewers that you can have a silver up there from the World Beer Cup, but I'm sure there's you probably think a lot of other brewers do. It's yeah, it's good, but I can always make it better. And there's always room for improvement. And I feel like brewers are always their own worst critics. But I love that, because that's how I am. I want, it's never good enough. I want to be the best it can be. So I'm sure that's probably how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. We're always tweaking our recipes. Subtle changes.
Yeah.
If unless we're doing a brand new beer, that's different. But if we're making, one of our, I hate to use the term core, because we're still kind of new, but our core beers, we're subtle changes on every batch.
Yeah.
Just dialing it in.
Oh yeah.
Mainly with the water, that dialed in. We're fortunate enough to have an RO system, so
awesome.
We have very consistent water, unlike typical LA water, where
if
you brew the same beer with LA water, it's going to be different in the summertime than it is in the wintertime. The water's very different.
Yeah.
So the same beer will be very different. So I decided we're definitely getting an RO system for here. So
that's awesome.
It's worked out, because we can make some beers that you really couldn't, that wouldn't turn out great with LA's water profile.
Yeah.
So, when you want some softer water. So we start with very soft water and then add salts to taste.
Yeah. And you can create that consistency, with that. I mean, but you said obviously tweaking little things here and there, but you can, create that consistency with all, with the beers that you want, because there are some people out there oh, it just doesn't taste the same. But I mean, it's still 99% the same. There's just that 1%, that kind of changes.
And sometimes that's people just tweaking it. That can be, the hop lots are just slightly different. We run into that where you use certain amounts in the beer in the next batch, you use the exact same amount. It's it's just not as hoppy as the last batch. So throw some extra dry hop in there.
Nice.
That happens. It's just from when you get inconsistent hops.
Yeah. And isn't it too, when it comes to hops, it's crazy to me, how you can, one region, you can grow the same type of hop in one region and then in another, but you get a completely different flavor profile.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you said with the water, it's crazy how one little thing, or not one little thing, but one thing can be different and, in a different place, and it just completely changes the entire beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a beer. It's a fickle but what do they say? A fickle mistress? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Favorite? So like your favorite styles to brew is an IPA. To drink, I'm assuming the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like IPAs. I really like Pilsners, German Pilsners.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, I like lager. I like just
so do I.
good old lager.
Oh yeah.
You know, I still, I'll still get a Miller Lite here and there.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all do it. I mean,
and, I dig that, and because that's where I started with beer, of course.
Of
right?
course,
so,
yeah.
And that's actually lagers are making a big comeback.
Oh, for
lately,
sure.
especially here in LA. They're very, very popular now. Even craft lager.
Yeah. I feel like with lagers, like, I mean, people got away from it because they're like, oh, it's not bitter, but you can make a hoppy lager. Like you can do that. It's just a matter of, putting in the work and honestly, I feel like you're saying they're making a comeback, but there's so many really good, like hoppy lagers out there or hoppy pilsners out there. And it's like, man, it doesn't have to be like, because I know Stone obviously used to say like the whole fuzzy yellow beers for wussies, but it's like, dude, like, it's so good. Like, and I'm glad that it's back. Like, cause you're seeing even reds or blacks and stuff like that too, which is exciting because you don't, for the longest time, it was just like, oh, it had to be a hazy. You had to have like 12 hazies on your menu. And don't get me wrong. I love a good hazy, but I just feel like, you don't need, you didn't need 12 on your menu, but
Yeah. Hazy's still a thing. It's still popular.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still drink them too sometimes. I don't drink them all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah, I have them occasionally. I prefer bright beer, though.
Yeah.
Personally.
Mm-hmm. Crisp, clean, hoppy. Take my money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like hazy sometimes they're like, I'll have like one of them because they're just filling to me. They're like too filling for me.
Yeah, it's that mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to make it's almost soupy you're trying to make juice, right? So
yeah,
it's got that really round mouthfeel that, yes, it feels filling, which people like that, that are really into that style. But that's, it's unique in that way.
Yeah, and it's
cloying could be a word.
Yeah.
To describe them. Some of them, not all of them. I mean, the guys that make the really good ones, it's, they nail it. It's like, that's like Orange Julius there. It's crazy, but yeah.
And people love that. I mean, and I'd say
it's
that
an entry to craft. Too,
oh, for sure. It's a total gateway, like into craft beer. Like I feel like even seltzers and sours were kind of like, cause just to get people in the door with those. But then, you can, especially like with, if you have a good like beer tender who knows like their stuff, like they can, say, hey, I know you like this one. You're probably going to like this. And then, then they try that one and then they try the next one and then the next one. And then you have just a full on craft beer head after that.
We've turned a couple people here in this location that were neighbors that like couples would come in and the husband drinks beer. I say, I don't drink beer. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You just haven't found one
you just haven't found the right one.
And so, it's always like, here, try a sour.
Yeah.
It's raspberry, Wow, that's beer.
Yeah.
That's beer.
Yep.
So we've tried to convert people.
Yeah. No, that's awesome though. And when you do, it's like, cause then they'll remember that. Like the customers will, they'll remember like, yeah, these are the people that like kind of got me into it. And then they'll, they become regulars or like your Norms or Cliffs, and to me, that's like, I always like love that. Cause I was going to say as a kid, but I mean, definitely wasn't drinking underage, but no, I was. Like I would go to 6740. Oh, they would not serve me when I was underage. This is after I was 21. Yeah. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. No, but I used to go there and like, it was like, I eventually, like, every Friday, it was me and my brother, we'd be sit at the bar and see what new beers they had because there weren't very many craft beer bars in the area. I mean, I feel like even during that time, it was like 2012. And even then, craft beer was still kind of in its infancy.
LA was kind of behind
the
rest of California on the craft beer scene.
Mm-hmm.
Even though a lot of it would flow through the town, it's just, we were kind of later to the game, but it really, in a few years' time, though, it really took off, if you think about it.
It really did. Like, it just feel like it's exploded over the last 10 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Since Eagle Rock opened, they were kind of the pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was as craft beer bars started opening.
Yeah.
Which has been great. Yeah, and now there's many places to get beer, which is very cool.
Well, you got some damn good ones here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we think I should try that noise violation. What was it? Which one was it? The
Violation.
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
We named that after we had a noise
Oh,
complaint.
yeah, did you have a
from
noise
neighbors.
complaint? I love that.
So we're like, oh, noise violation. We might get cited for a noise violation. We're like, hey, that's a beer name. Let's use that for a double.
I love that. That's so cool. I mean, it's stuff like that. It's like those. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love like cool like beer names and stuff like that. But like when it's something like that where it's actually happened, and it just makes it like, and then you find out the story, it just makes it that much better.
Yeah, some of our names are for that reason. Or I'll try to names related to, well, guitar, music, kind of sticking in that theme a bit. But
Okay,
But yeah, we have these other names that are nothing to do with that. They're just because.
love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So should we grab one of those bad boys? Let's do it. All right. So we got another brewski here. I got the noise violation. 9.1.
I believe it hit 9.1. Yes.
Love it. There we go.
A little bit bigger than we planned.
Yeah.
Our brew house is really efficient. So I think we were shooting for 8.6 on that one, but we got way up to 9.1.
That's awesome.
And it's kind of we'll call it more like an early 2000s IPA.
Okay.
Not like a Stone, but kind of in that realm.
I like it.
So a little bit different from our other beers.
Mm.
A little more crystal malt.
Okay. I can see that. That's pretty damn good.
It's boozy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't see it as often anymore, so it's good, good to have that out there. Because you mentioned you play guitar, so I was just kind of thinking about like questions in my head. Do you have like favorite bands or favorite guitarists of all time?
I listen to all kinds of music.
Okay.
So I studied jazz.
Oh, awesome.
But I also can play metal or funk and I study flamenco guitar as well. So
oh, wow.
My favorite guitarists are actually flamenco guitarists that nobody knows about. Nobody's ever heard of, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, but I listen to, I'm a rocker too. So 90s, love 90s rock.
Oh, same.
That was kind of my I like 70s funk and 90s rock as far as American music goes.
Okay. What are some of your favorite bands from the 90s? I know there's so many of them. It's a loaded question.
So many, but yeah. Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh yeah.
Love those guys.
Great stuff.
They're great songwriters. I'm actually was playing one of their songs last night when I damaged my favorite guitar.
Oh no.
Which is another story, but it's a nightmare.
No. What happened?
I might cry.
Oh no.
My guitar strap broke.
Oh dang.
And the guitar hit the floor. And it's a 30-year-old guitar called Brutus. I named that for that guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
They call it Scarlet and Gray Stratocaster.
Oh wow.
And it was custom. And it never had a scratch on it in 30 years. And it just fell off my strap last night.
Oh,
hit my tile floor.
Oh, yeah. Say it was like hoping it was carpet, but
yeah,
guess not.
And the value of the guitar just went down $600 just like that.
Oh, wow.
More than that. It's like, I was a baby though. So I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to get back into electric lately. So.
Okay. How long have you been playing since you were like, I'm assuming since you were a kid?
Since I was 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you ever like in bands in high school or anything?
Yeah, in college.
Yeah.
I'd gig out and stuff. And
that's cool.
But I always wanted to do engineering as well. So professionally, I just went towards the engineering route instead of playing.
Gotcha.
So now I just play for fun. And, I have professional musicians, friends to hang out with, but I'm not gigging or anything.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, you got to do what it's cool that you can kind of, especially with it being Audiograph, you can combine two of the things that you really love. So,
yeah, brewing's cool because it's creative, but it's also technical, and that's how it is in audio engineering. And so they're kind of two sides of the same coin to me. But yeah, I started engineering. I started up in the Bay Area.
Yeah, and
so I did a lot of like the hip hop records from the gangster records from the 90s up there.
Yeah, so
that was the days of those were the clients then. I'd get a few rock bands, but it was a lot of gangsta stuff.
Yeah.
So that was that's where I started in the industry.
Okay. That's cool. Did you doing like the audio engineering for like movies and stuff? Like, are you a big movie guy or?
I'm a movie fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites or any favorites that you've worked on?
I worked on, I've worked on it sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
I've worked on probably 1,100 films.
Wow.
Because of my particular gig that I had where I was a mastering engineer.
Okay.
So basically every film would go through a few of us here in LA.
Wow.
So I was just every day, I'm like every couple of days on different films.
Okay.
I'd say a highlight would be working on The Matrix.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
really cool. Just to watch that watch that creative process from the beginning, because all of us that saw were like, this is going to be something special.
Yeah.
And so it was to watch that unfold was really cool.
That's awesome.
That would be a highlight, probably. Just I've worked on so many films. I can't even think. I'm blanking on them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now it's just the Marvel stuff and Disney animation.
Yeah. All the big like
'Cause I'm
tentpole
on the
movies.
lot. Yeah, on the lot. So yeah, the last one was the Marvels, and then currently working on something I can't say what I'm working on, but we're working on something.
All right. All right. I like that. That's cool. One thing I was cool, we can jump back into craft beer. Sorry, I just when we started talking about music and movies, I kind of nerded out a little bit on that. So we'll jump back into the craft beer. We kind of talked a little bit about before how we've seen lagers coming back. What do you do? What do you kind of think the next kind of trend could be? Because I know hazies are still big, and so are like seltzers are still huge too. But do you see anything else maybe like more people ordering a specific type of?
What I think, which it's already starting to happen, but it seems to be more and more are doing, is just American Pilsner.
Okay.
But with modern hops. So not the American Pilsner that Grandpa used to have.
Yeah.
More of it's pale ale or IPA adjacent, I guess you would say. So it's has that hop aroma like an IPA, but is less bitter, in the realm of like a pale, but dry, unlike a pale, which is a little bit more round.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a trend that seems to be more people are doing that, experimenting that way. Like, we don't have to use German hops to make this style.
Yeah.
And our Pilsner, we choose to do that here, but there is a American Pilsner in our future.
Oh, for sure.
I just haven't picked the hop yet. But yeah, our current Pilsner is German style, and then my Lars, and it's named after my brewer's, his nickname's Lars.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the name came from. And I said, hey, I'm calling this beer Lars. So you better make it good.
I'm putting your stamp on
He's
it.
like, oh, God, okay. Gets his notebook out. Oh, okay. What am I going to use here?
Yeah, because the first thing I thought when I saw it was Metallica. That was the first thing I thought. I saw Lars.
Most people think that. Yeah. Because it is music. Yeah. It comes to your head, but that's actually Larry, his nickname. All his friends call him Lars.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that's really where it came from. It's just named after our brewer.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, it's because obviously the craft beer community is always, I feel like, I'll say about 90% of the people, or 95 probably, because everybody's always, super nice and like super inviting and, wanting to collaborate and do stuff like that and help one another. What do you love the most about the industry?
The beer, man.
Yeah. It's true. Can't go wrong with beer.
No. Yeah. No, there's a lot of cool people in this industry, and it's interesting because it's people from a lot of different backgrounds, and, from biochemists to guys that just worked in a warehouse that just love beer, and then they worked their way up, and then they're a head brewer now. These places, it's just all walks of life. Like, I was an attorney, but I just love beer, and now I have a brewery or whatever. It's kind of really neat and unique in that fashion. I like that about it.
Yeah,
and everybody's super chill in the industry, so it's competitive, but not everybody will help you out as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like you want to be able to.
We want everybody to win.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we want to be big beer. We want to, just not beat it, but I mean, like create that that space or like that that space for it. Because I mean, big beer wants craft beer to
to die.
Yeah,
you could say it.
Yeah, but craft beer, it's just like it's here to stay. And I mean, and like even like, was it last year was the first year that they didn't see more breweries opening, but you did see, or like not more new breweries opening, but you did see more of breweries or craft breweries that were established opening more locations. So there's still that growth within the industry. And I just feel like, like if you're making good beer, people will find it. And, and it's showing that like, yeah, like there's more people are opening more locations in different places because you're like, you build that trust factor with the customer. And when you do that, I mean, people, like we mentioned earlier, like if you show someone that sour, they're like, oh, I'm going to go back to that place because they know what I like and they have something that I like. So that's one thing I love about it. But I love what you said about, yeah, you can be an attorney and be like, you know what? I just always want to try the beer thing. And then boom.
Yeah.
And then, 5 years down the road, you're a head brewer.
Yeah. If you go down to San Diego, you could argue there's a lot of lost leader breweries.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you're like, this is a huge space, huge brewery, and they're not selling any beer, but they stay open.
Yep.
Because there's some very wealthy people that own breweries.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that was kind of a newer thing, but that seems to have been slowing down now. But
yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah, but there are people just, hey, I just love beer. I just want to own a brewery.
Yeah,
they don't even care if it makes money. It's like,
yeah,
I'm fine.
They want a place to hang out with their buddies.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel that way too because I feel like sometimes people just throw money at something, thinking is gonna like, especially like when the craft beer boom like really kind of things took off. There was like a lot of people out there that like what you said, just like, it's a good investment. Let's open up a brewery. So throw money at it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good. You have to put in like the hard work, and there has to be that hard work, the love, and just the care for the craft.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
it's hard work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not you just hanging out drinking, throw something in a tank and then you drink beer the rest of the day. It's far from that. Yeah. It's work.
I mean, that's what brewers are saying. It's 90% cleaning and 10%.
It's cleaning.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cleaning. You have to enjoy that.
Yep. Oh man, that's so cool. Another thing I was up to ask people is like, what's your favorite kind of thing to have with, a beer? Like whether it's like tacos or pizza.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your go-to taco?
Nearby, we have Sonora Town.
Okay.
Which is bomb tacos.
Nice.
Yeah. But we have different food trucks that come through here and just different vendors that pop-ups.
Okay.
And so randomly you'll get some of these guys are just awesome, because they just do it for the love. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is my mom's salsa right here.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's always good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely my, tacos over pizza. Absolutely.
Okay. How often do you guys have food trucks out here?
Usually we have a truck if there's an event.
Okay.
If it's just regular hours, we'll have just like pop-ups because they can operate it cheaper than the trucks. So a lot of the trucks tend to want to guarantee. Yeah. So if you can't guarantee a busy day, then they might not want to come back. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, we've had some good ones here. Sonora, we had a truck, I can't remember the name of the truck, but we had a Sonora style taco truck.
Nice.
He had the mesquite wood burning in his truck in our parking lot. So the whole building smelled like mesquite. Everybody's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Everybody ate well that day.
Yeah. So even if you're not hungry, you're still going to get a taco when you smell stuff like that. Oh man, that's making me hungry now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I'm like, should I open up a Sonora style restaurant and beer place? Because that's kind of that's my jam.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be pretty damn good. I was just thinking about Brutus again of Ohio State. It just popped in my head. Like, and if you don't remember, like, because I know, like, there's certain hangovers I don't want to remember, but I was going to ask, like, being over at Ohio State, did you ever have like a really bad hangover night over there?
Maybe more than once.
Okay.
We used to have
the worst one, maybe.
To show you how far America has come. Yeah. Especially after COVID, you would be like, this is insane. Right? Yeah. But at Ohio State, you could buy buckets of beer, and we would just all dip our hands in the bucket with their plastic cups.
Oh, really?
At bars.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So it was like Schaefer beer. I think, the cheapest beer, it's like big bucket, that's $12, and
so they would just put the tap open like into
on like a gallon.
Holy shit. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. And it was a thing. And it's not anymore.
Yeah.
Of course. But you just like all our sweaty hands, like dig in there, like random people just like, you turn your back and they're grabbing your beer, dipping your
Yeah.
hand in your beer. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So
That's crazy.
yeah, there's
I've
been
never
some
heard
hangovers
that.
from nights like that, but yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's
Especially
it.
now. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, don't touch the glass.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, back then, a few years ago, it was like, don't touch your face. It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I got to sneeze, bro. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
crazy.
nasty when you look back, but we were young and dumb.
yeah, I think back then you're like, like, fuck it. Nothing can hurt me. And, and you'll
Oh,
be,
yeah, of
I'll be
course.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've had some bad hangovers back in the day, but that's pretty nuts. Hearing about that. A bucket of beer.
Yeah.
I've heard a bucket,
real
bucket,
thing.
like they fill it up with ice and pop in a couple cold ones in there, but some frosty ones. Shout out to Shorzy.
Yeah. There was multiple places had that available.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's cool though. I mean, to think about, like, I can imagine being in high school and being and if there was a place around here like that I was able to frequent with a fake ID, be able to scoop, I probably would have went. Not gonna lie to you. I used to go to draft picks way back when, but I had a fake ID, and they had Jaeger on tap.
Oh wow. Yeah, the beer bucket places are where the fake IDs would work.
Yeah.
So that's also part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
You got to go where you
they
can
wanted
get
the
it.
bodies in there. So
Oh yeah.
So they were like always packed. That's gross to think about that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking about it, I'm like, it's cool to think of, like, probably as a kid, but like, yeah, as you get older, you're like, oh, well, maybe don't do that. Well, it's probably a good thing they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that location I used to frequent. I think it's like a Gap now or something is there. It's like it's all changed.
When did you move back out here? Well, just after college?
Yeah, right out of college. So
Okay.
94. But I moved to San Francisco.
Okay. Was that where you got like the anchor steam and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where, my first night there, and just got a hotel room, I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for a job tomorrow. And
There you go.
I got a beer and a burrito, I was like, I've
Let's
made it.
do this.
I've made it, like, wow. I was, completely broke, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I was just my entire life, I planned to move to California. So,
Okay.
yeah.
When you were up in Frisco, did you ever go to like Tahoe or Reno or anywhere over there?
I'm mostly stuck to the coast.
Okay.
I surf, so
Okay. Would you?
poorly.
Oh no,
But,
same. I haven't surfed in like 10 years.
Being from Ohio, so
Yeah.
you didn't get a lot of practice when I was a kid. Just on
Mhm.
vacations, but yeah, I like to be at the ocean.
Yeah, my stepdad, he taught me on a 12-foot. No, sorry, not 12. It might have been a 12-foot Stewart, and it was like that was like going to the beach in the morning with my stepdad was like like church essentially for me. But
Yeah.
learning on the
That's
white
cool.
water and stuff like that. What did you used to ride?
Well, I had shortboards
Okay,
when I was younger, and now I'm at longboards now.
now you can cruise.
Yeah, glory days are over because you got to go
Mhm.
all the time, be in very good shape.
Oh, for sure.
Because I like the bigger waves, but
Yeah.
I stopped doing that because you have to be in shape.
Oh.
I've had some experiences where like, you're not quite as good as you used to be, so you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't paddle out in something that big anymore.
Yeah. Well, even like, I feel like, they don't, well, they still get big sometimes, especially depending on like if there's storms and stuff. But yeah, like I remember as like a kid, like you'd see like double overhead sometimes.
Sure.
But even then, like I maybe rode a few of those, like, back in the day, but I was just like, man, I just like to cruise. Like that was like the biggest thing for me, being able to, in high school too, I would make my cousin buy me a 6-pack, and then I would go out to the beach, and then I would do my
more
thing.
like a cruise now thing
Yeah.
instead of like some like heavy pitching wave. But yeah, I learned to surf in Florida where the waves are weak,
Yeah,
and
they're a little 2 or 3 footers, so you can go on
my
them.
first California wave was Ocean Beach, San Francisco in the
Oh, yeah.
wintertime.
freezing.
In the fog, freezing. I was like, oh my God, it's this cold water. What, this is not Baywatch.
Yeah, this is what
And
I
then
thought it
You
was.
get out there and like, I remember that I couldn't even see the break because it was so foggy.
Yeah.
And I got out and I was like, oh no. And it was like 8-foot waves. And
Wow. Yeah.
I got pounded.
Oh yeah.
But
It happens.
yeah.
But yeah, those are Florida, I mean, but I would see the waves out there. I've only been out there a few times, but I would say they're like, yeah, 2-3 footers. Like you could just ride them forever. It felt like for certain spots.
It's easier there. It's slower.
Man, but this is, I want to say thank you for letting me come down here and talk to you. This has been really fun. And I love to do this because I mean, I like to hear people's success stories, man. And like, if it motivates one person to maybe want to open a brewery or start home brewing or anything like that, that's all I care about, and be able to support a small business and just support the craft beer community. And, so I'm super appreciative that you let me come down here.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Art, do you have any questions for him? Do you want to jump in and ask a question? Yeah.
That one just came to me. I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I probably should throw that in there.
There you go.
About it.
No,
it's ridiculous when you think of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a funny, like, kind of, like you said, it's not like cringy, but I mean, like, but I guess because nowadays people would cringe.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that was just the time, that it was like back then, it was like stuff like that happened. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's when mom got scratch your knee, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. There you go.
You're fine. That's not a lot of blood. You're fine.
Yeah. And if you're having a tough day, just go to get yourself a bucket of beer and see how many beers you can get out of it. So
exactly.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much, Trevor. I appreciate you doing this. I can't wait this will be out in 2 weeks. So we'll be able to, thank you to Art, obviously, for telling me about this place and getting some great footage and stuff like that. But this is super awesome. Shout out to Chew, because he's over there too. All right. But thank you again, Trevor. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I've been with the brewery for 3 years, and my favorite beer here is going to be the barrel-aged sour, the Fuzz Box.
All right, so we're here at Audiograph, and I'm having the ambient amber lager, and it's actually very, very good. I've had it a couple of times. I think I put it on our site, and it's very good. Malty, light also, but very smooth as well. And it's great, man. What are you having? Chew?
What's up, homies? Chew your beer here. Audiograph, homies. I got mixed up because this used to be high def. So I am having large German Pils 5.0 ABV. At first, I'm not going to lie to you. The first when I tried it, I thought I was drinking like a mineral water, like seltzer. But it started cleaning up. Got some nice hops, little dankness. It's very clean, very crisp. This would actually I like to pair my beers with food. Una tostada de camarones. This would be phenomenal. All right, I'm going to pass the mic back to LA Beer Life, homies.
You know what's funny is that when I hear Chew, I sound like a robot. It's like, oh, I like this beer, blah blah blah, and then I hear him. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? I kind of want to be more like Chew, so it's yeah. We did something like that where like the robot went first, and then he went, and when I heard that, I was like, I got to meet this guy. This guy's he's very natural. I suck, but I know my beer. But I'm not very articulate when it comes to the microphone. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was fun for me. We got to, hang out, talk for a little while, and, just get out there and support local breweries, man. Support local, drink local, do all that good stuff. I did forget on the intro about I did some questions this week, the Geeks Who Drink questions, and then also a couple of polls that I had. We get those pulled up. Let's see here. First one we did, the first poll we had was the chugging preference. So we did normal chug, shotgun, beer bong. And I honestly thought shotgun might win this one, but no, it was the normal chug, got 54% of the vote. Shotgun got 27%, and then a beer bong, 19%. So I was like, all right, I was, pleasantly surprised by that. See, I'm more of a shotgun guy myself, because, I honestly just can't chug to begin with, so. All right, so then I had a couple of, the Geeks Who Drink questions of the week. The first one was, what brewery is named after the goddess of beer? It was Eris, Ninkasi, or Gilgamesh. And the answer was Ninkasi. So, most people got that one. Yeah, like I would say more than half of the people that voted got that right. And then it was actually Gilgamesh and then Eris also tied for the amount of wrong answers on that one. And then we had and then the bonus one, the pop culture question of the week was what year did Blockbuster open? And I was kind of surprised. I was like, I think it was, let's see, 220 people said 1985, 200 said 1987, 150 said 1989, and 110 people said 1991. So yeah, I was like, Blockbuster was opened up in 1985. I was like, dang. I mean, I just remember that was like, remember thinking as a kid, like, man, that would probably be like the greatest job ever. You get to go and sit there and there's candy there, there's popcorn there, and you get to watch movies all day. That was the dream. I thought, like, man, this could be the greatest job of all time. I always wanted to work there as a kid. Never really got a chance to. I was always in trouble. So, yeah. But yeah, speaking of movies, the last one I had for today was the bonus poll I did for the episode was, what is the best Indiana Jones movie of the original 3 or the OG 3? 35% said Raiders. The winner, 37% said The Last Crusade. And then 29% of the people aren't all there because they selected Temple of Doom. Sorry, just not a big fan of that movie. Sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just kidding. No, I just never really cared for that one. My sister loves Temple. I love Raiders and Last Crusade. If I had to choose between the two, I would probably choose Last Crusade. But all great. I mean, well, 2 of them are really great. One of them is just okay. I'll let you figure out which one you think that is. I'm just kidding. It's Temple of Doom. Everybody knows it. All right. Well, that's all I have for this week. Next week's episode will be Pro 5. That was a fun one with Nick and Johnny. The week after that, I have to look at my calendar. I honestly just feel like my brain's jumbled right now. But yeah, so got that one coming up. And then let's see what else I got. I could find it here real quick. Let's see. Oh, Tustin. Yeah, so it'll be that. So yeah, Pro 5 this coming week. And then it'll be Tustin and then Brew Dude, West Virginia. Beer Belly Pod. I'm actually supposed to be recording with Chris from the World Beer Cup this week, so I have to reach out just to confirm. But also Hannah over at the head brewer over at Last Name Brewing in Upland. We just talked the other day, so we're actually scheduling something for, I believe, the 22nd or something around there, sometime around that time. So it'll be exciting to have her on. Still working on a date for the female brewers roundtable. And then still working on a date with Tommy from Asylum. But yeah, we've got some episodes, some good ones coming up. But yeah, so that's all I got. So I could actually go make some chile right now because I'm going to make some quesadilla tacos today. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to throw those suckers in the Dutch oven and cook them up. So that should be pretty good. But all right, I will, time to let you little, I was going to say you little rascals. I'm going to let you little beer rascals go because I had to go cook that and go get some beer and start drinking. Remember, I don't do this for me. I mean, you think I like drinking all the time? You think I like drinking beer all the time? I do this for you guys. I have to do it. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, take care, Tap Fam. Hope you have a good week. Cheers, fuckers.